much love, and you bring me so much joy. I can't understand why you do it, but you do. Yeah, I know you give me so much love, so much.
So I finally got to take her on a date. And
our first date was
Macaroni Grill.
Macaroni Grill.
I took her to Macaroni Grill. She had to pick me up.
I did.
In her mama's van.
I forgot about that.
Because my license was revoked. Because I got into too much trouble. And my license was revoked.
And you were waiting on them to be renewed.
And I didn't have a car. And I literally was a bum. I was a bum. I was a bum, and she took a chance on a bum.
You had a job.
You took it. I had a job at a daycare.
Considering the fact that we were 18,
you took a chance on a bum. You took a chance on a bum, and it paid off. It paid off. Did it not pay off?
Amen.
Did it not? Matter of fact, let's just put a pin in this. I told her. I remember one day we pull up to my driveway. She about to drop me off at home and then take herself home. Man, and we pull up, and I just was feeling so bad because I'm like, she deserves so much better. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, at least you paid for everything.
I did. And I just had a conversation. I'll never forget this. I said, and at the time, it may have sounded like a line or whatever, but I meant it. I was like, man, I just thank you for, picking me up and support me or whatever. I said, I may not have nothing right. You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
I may not have nothing right now. But I promise, if you just stick with me, I'm gonna take you to see the world. Woo! Hey, that was faith talk. That was. I ain't know how I was gonna see no world. I ain't know. I don't even think I even wanted to see the world.
I did though. The Lord knew I did.
I just had to say something. Like I had to say something that just soothed the moment because I felt like the bummiest bum known to man. Sure enough, she's seeing the world. And it ain't nothing but Jesus.
Take me.
And so we went on a date, and it was fun. And then I think we got home, and a couple weeks later, I just said, God told me that you was my wife.
Okay, but wait. You said before we started dating, you felt like...
Oh, yeah. I'm not one of these people who say I hear God's audible voice every day, every week. The Lord speaks to me through his word mainly. Like that's how he speaks to me, right? That's the primary way the Lord speaks is through his word. That's primary. Then there's ways God will speak in a dream or he'll use other people or something like that, but he will speak audibly. And so there's only been a few times in my life, twice to date, that I've ever can honestly say I've audibly heard God, and I'm really hesitant on even saying that, but the Lord speaks and I know I heard his voice. So the first time I've ever audibly it's not like the heavens opened and everybody heard. It was like, I heard, nobody else heard. And so I was in church and I used to play the drums and I was trash, but I used to keep a beat, you feel me? And break sticks every week. And so I'm on the drums and this is back when the Baptist church, we used to do the march around for offering. We used to play the offering music and everybody used to walk around and drop it in the, and drop it in the bucket. And I'm just, and just killing it. And so she walks around and I just hear like one of my homies sitting by me or something. It was like, that's your wife right there. Boom, boom. And I stopped playing mid-song. Like, did anybody else hear that? And I'm like, whoa, what just happened? And so I see her. The Lord says, that's your wife right there. And I'm like, nah. And in myself, I said, if it is, you're going to have to make it happen.
Now I'm new. I'm still new.
To the faith.
New to the faith. New to church. New to it all. So I'm like, what?
The Lord said.
He said, what? He ain't told me. he ain't told me. And I think you told your parents. You told your mom. And so she would ask me like, so are you gonna marry my son? And I would be like, it was all new. Yeah. So I was like, oh, we'll see, whatever. But I mean, yeah, things happen really quickly after that.
Super quick. And so fast forward, we date, we go into counseling with my dad.
Yeah, oh my God. You remember the first day? You remember? I thought it was
I
gonna
pee on
be
myself.
great. I thought it was gonna be like
No,
that.
I almost peed on myself. I almost peed on myself in that man's office. So we walk in, we all happy and cheerful. You know, I'm like, yay, we about to get married. Hey, dad, counselor. So we walk in, we sit down. He's eerily quiet. Eerily quiet. I'm like, okay, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be. So we sit down. She sits over here. I sit over here, like separate. He's behind his desk. And he leans back in his desk, takes his glasses off because he had reading glasses, sets them on his desk. He looks at her. Then he looks at me. And he says, so y'all want to get married? Yep, I want to get married. I want to marry her. I'm happy. I just believe this is what the Lord wants us to do. Why y'all want to get married? He looks at me. He says, why you want to marry her? And before I could answer.
But he didn't let you finish.
Before I could answer, fury and anger came across his face, and fire. And he lifts up his hand and he slams his hand on the desk several times. And he says, don't you tell me because you love her. He said, I don't want to hear you get married because you love her, doggone it. Love don't pay no bills. Love, and he just kept saying all the things that love don't do. Like all the things that love, now we know love is love, but the point he was making was marriage is a different beast. Like you can't just get into this thing because you think you love somebody.
Yeah.
That can't that can't be it. You know what I'm saying? You got to go in educated and advised as to what the covenant that you're entering into. And so that's when he was driving home. And I was just like, I think I peed myself a little bit in my drawers, a little bit. Like a little pee came out. No, it did. And I was looking at her trying to be tough, but inside I was crying. I was like, do I really want to do this? And so there was a couple moments like that. I remember one moment,
a couple moments like what?
Yeah, I remember one moment you came over to pick us up for VBS in your car that you just got. That
my Cavalier that said.
And we knew when you pulled up because we heard the rumbling.
I had dual pipes on there.
Because your muffler. And like I said, something slick to you. Something slick. What happened?
You said something, but I think you forgot that I was.
She was fresh, like out the hood. And I tried her that day.
You forgot that I was.
And she said, expletive, what'd you say? Expletive, what did you say? Now, mind you, my mama and my daddy was sitting there at the table.
Expletive starts with an N.
It don't matter. You said it. Don't try to clean it up.
I'm just saying.
The pastor and first lady was sitting at the breakfast table.
Hey.
And it just, we just had a lot of moments. Like it was just.
I didn't know it was a proper way to be.
Oh my God.
I didn't know. So he said something that, you're not about to get that off. Right. So
and I have yet to get things off.
No, stop.
I get things off that she wants me to get off. But when she don't want me to get nothing off.
So anyway.
I don't get it off. But anyway, yeah, that's neither here nor there. We don't get to all that. But so we date and we go to counseling and
and then we went to the deacon. We went to after that initial one.
Yeah, we didn't go back to him.
We didn't go back to your dad.
We didn't go back to him.
Yeah, we didn't go back to your dad.
And we was planning this wedding. We wanted to get married in the summertime. Yeah. But the Lord just kind of advised us to do it.
He did. So we were planning on summer 2005. And then we were advised like, soon or what have you. And we just kind of like, whatever.
No, y'all need to get married soon.
Yeah, we need to get
married.
It
was like urgent.
Yeah, it was urgent.
And it was like, why are we even in a hurry? Lord, like, okay, so we go ahead and we get married.
But the reason why we go ahead and we get married is because the first you forgot about that part?
I ain't forget.
The first and only time that
I ain't forget.
We were should I say the words? Adults just watching this. I don't know.
We had some sex. Okay. What you mean say the words? We had some sex.
So anyway, the first
some.
No, it was
what do you mean it wasn't? Girl, you know that was
some. the first and only time before we got married, we had sex, and I end up one time,
That's all
and
it
I
takes.
end up being
That's what they say.
pregnant.
She got pregnant.
And I remember though,
Now, that was just 6 months of just me, we holy, we reading our Bible. We would go around and pray for people and
oh yeah, we were
evangelizing people. We would go cast out demons and go out on the street ministry together and all that stuff. And just in a moment of weakness,
I remember though, right after that, even before I knew I was pregnant, we both went to your mom like, oh my gosh, we sinned. I felt horrible. I was like, this is, my witness is ruined. I just felt, But anyway, so then I found out I was pregnant, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be pregnant like right now. This one time, and I'm pregnant like right
Super
now, like right now. But and so that was crazy. But and so, we of course told his parents again. It was like, well, you guys no need to plan for late 2005. We might as well just,
do it.
you guys, yeah. So anyway,
Get her done.
so we got married. We got married December 6th, 2004. At that time, we both were working at the daycare at the church. His mom had
I was Mr. Armour at the daycare.
a little daycare preschool at the church.
Yep.
So he was Mr. Armour. I was Miss Jessica. And we were working there.
Working with kids, feeding them lunch, teaching them, watching them.
Praying and all that great stuff. And so when I got pregnant, it was like, okay, so we're going to get married on a Monday night. After work. 6 p.m. 6:30. You had on a
black Rockaware zip-up hoodie that was too big.
With some Spurs.
Some San Antonio Spurs patch jeans with some some Sauconys.
I had some green, like army fatigue, not army fatigue, but they were green, like cargo pants, and like some black shirt or something. I had like some micro braids or something. And I remember like your auntie Miss Shona, they went and grabbed some flowers, Erica, from Walmart. And because I remember your dad like took my hand.
They was like blue fake
Yeah,
flowers.
they were blue. And he did like that for me to hold the flowers up.
Because you was holding the flowers like this. Just looking nonchalant, like she didn't care. My daddy grabbed her hands.
But anyway, so both of your parents were up there to marry us. The daycare, some of the daycare kids were our groomsmen and our bridesmaids.
Little kids. 4 or 5-year-old kids.
My brother, who's the first boy, he's younger than me, but he's the first boy. He actually walked me down, and he said, "Who gives us? Who gives her away?" He was looking around. And then finally was like nudge him. He was like, "Oh yeah, me."
Me? I'm giving her. Me. Oh my goodness.
And then the picture that we'll post, the only picture that we have was taken with one of our deacon's kids at the time. She had a Blues Clues camera.
Blues Clues.
So the one picture that we have.
One picture from our wedding. One.
With a Blues Clues camera.
A Blues Clues kids camera.
And street clothes.
In street clothes.
So, yeah. And your mom and dad, they both were standing up there married us. But it was definitely it was a time. And we had like cake and something like 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, yep. And that night some nice members from the church fixed us a pan of shrimp and rice.
Yeah, she did.
And we took it on to the Shangri-La Motel. Because that's all we could afford. That's all we could afford.
We were in the suburbs, so
it was a Shangri-La.
It wasn't it was maybe like a 2-star, but it was in the suburbs. So
it don't matter. Safe. We don't know. It was a Shangri-La, and we walked in that Shangri-La with our pan of shrimp and rice, and we was in there talking.
Yeah.
Yep.
We commenced our
active worship.
Amen.
In the Lord.
Yep. Freely.
And I prayed.
Yeah.
Oh, I prayed. I said, God. Lord, please, don't let me be a 1-minute man.
Oh, God.
I said, I promise y'all, I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
I said, Lord, while she was in the bathroom freshening up, I said, Lord, please. I begged him. I begged the Lord. I said, please, don't let this girl leave me over no sex. I said, please, Holy Spirit, you said I could ask anything.
Yeah, my Lord.
You said I could ask anything. You searcheth all things. You know all of the positions and everything, Lord. This is holy.
It was holy.
This is holy, Lord.
Absolutely
Help
holy.
me.
Absolutely.
And I don't even remember if he helped me or not. I don't even remember, but I know,
It's fine.
I know I prayed that. But anyway, so we were just happy, man.
Yeah, it was a great time. It was good.
When we staying with my parents
We ended up staying with your mom.
in my room.
It was just,
And I used to just like getting it
I was-
in the room in my house.
Babe!
I don't care. Because I could.
But then your mom made it weird. She was like, "Yeah, I heard y'all had a party going on. You know, trying
Oh,
to turn
God.
the music up."
Oh, God.
So we end up living at your parents' house, and this whole time you were looking for a job, another job, because you needed to make more money to support your new family. And we were looking for apartments.
Yeah, it
We
was
were going
exciting. It was just exciting.
apartment shopping and that
It was
kind
like
of
we were
thing.
so happy. we were about to have our own space and live on our own and struggle together and
Yeah.
pay bills,
Pay bills.
eat food,
Yeah.
right? And just have our little baby and just, you was pregnant. And it was just like, oh, I was so happy. And I just wanted to just provide. So I'm looking for jobs, calling banks, all that. Like, I was like, this daycare check ain't gonna cut it. I need to support my family. I'm about to go work at a bank. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work at a bank.
I wanted to work at a bank.
I felt like if you worked at a bank, you was balling. So I'm like, I'm working at a bank.
So that moved your dream from Quick Trip to the bank.
Yep.
Because you wanted to be
A manager at Quick Trip. That was my goal, to be a manager at Quick Trip. But then I met you and I elevated.
Okay.
And I said, I want to work at a bank. I want to dress up going to work every day and make a check from a bank. And so that's what I went and pursued. And so, we were happy. I was happy, weren't you?
Yeah, I was happy.
We was like looking for apartments. It was just great. And yeah, man, then all that happiness just left
Quickly.
immediately. Like our whole lives changed immediately. Like instantly. Our whole lives. Just boom.
Yeah.
The picture we had of being on our own and working at a bank and having our own apartment and just being able to go, you know what I'm saying? All that just instantly shattered. In one day.
Then me, on the other hand, seeing the conflicts, but they were just done super wrong. You get it. I'm coming from you, your mama, and your cousin too. Type of conflicts. Anybody could get it.